Oh, what's going on, everyone? Well, to everyone on YouTube, it's the best show on a Saturday night special with Hockey Stick Talk Nation with your host Dan and my special guest tonight, Frank Cards and Collectibles.
What's shaking?
So, what's going on, everyone? Appreciate everyone coming in on this special Saturday night. We'll just do what we always do and give the shout outs to everyone in here. We have Barry, one of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet. We have a good friend of mine and a good TTMer also, and that's John Burgess, the autograph fisherman. And we have everybody's favorite person in the world. You know him from his Sunday night shows, and that's Maiden's World of Wax. And then we got this guy here. He's a Penguins fan, but let's not hold this against him, people. It's our boy, Callie and Jordan, the commish. So, Frank, what's going on? What's new?
Not much, man. Oh, don't say what's new. I'm gonna come back with that corny New York joke.
And there we have Gaza stopping in. We have Sean Jedi Master. Thanks, guys. Appreciate all you guys coming in on this Saturday night. So I know we were talking backstage. We were watching a little bit of the Habs game. So what do you think of the Habs so far this season?
So far this season, I'm liking what I see. I don't want to jinx things like a typical Habs fan, But so far this season, I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing. I mean, I got to see some of the young guys ahead of time because I went to one of the prospect games not too long ago, a couple weeks back. It was, well, obviously before the Expo last weekend, but I went to one of the prospect games where unfortunately we lost to Toronto, but but seeing the likes of Lane Hudson and Reinbacher and Logan Mailloux. There was another guy, I think he's related to Alex Tuck. His last name is Tuck, so I'm just assuming. Played really good. Like a lot of the young guy, and of course Owen Beck. I know a lot of people say he's overhyped, but I don't believe it. And just really great young guys. And I know a lot of people, they whine about the rebuild. Give it time, because after seeing these young guys, I'm like, in another maybe 3-4 years, and I'm not just saying it because I'm a Habs fan, but I think Montreal will be a contender again. I'm saying it now.
We have a question here already from Kamish, so this will be a fun one. He's always got something to say to someone. Ask Frank why he has been watching a bunch of movies lately that reminds everybody of Slapnuts.
It just happens. I just have a great choice in movies.
All right. Before we start getting rolling, I got to give a big shout out to the channel's or the show's sponsor here. If you guys haven't, make sure to go check them out on eBay. Tsunami Hockey Cards. Use the code DMHockey88 for 25% off your first purchase. And use Tsunami Fan September 2nd for buy two, get one free. And if you guys really could, it'd be great because he's my sponsor and he's in Tampa and he dealt with that hurricane. So any little bit that we can do to help him goes a long, long way. They're without power for 10 days. So let's try and support this guy. I really would like to. And let's come together as a Cardmunity and let's go over and buy something at least and support him. So thank you. And hopefully you guys can do something to help support him a little bit. So we have DJ Wise, a good friend of mine, stopping in. And we have Jay's Mix also popping in. Thanks, guys, for coming in. So Frank, I guess we're going to dive right in here. I got another little slide of the top 10 Canadians as of 2024. And we already mentioned one of the guys on here, Owen Beck. I have him scheduled in as number 9, but the list doesn't really matter. It's just where I put them in. And then another player who I'm really high on, and I'm too bad he got hurt, and that's David Renbacher.
Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, I hearing that he's going to be out for like 5, 6 months or 4 or 5 months. I forget what. I'm like, it sucks. But when he comes back, again, getting to see him play during the prospects game, him too, like he's a big guy. So like, he's not afraid to throw his body around. And I'm hoping when he comes back, he gets to see a lot of ice time and everything. And happy that it's not like season ending kind of thing, like what happened with Kirby Doc, like was it 2 years ago or whatever? He gets checked onto the bench and that's it. He's out for the season, So,
and then I think this is a great pickup for you guys, and I'm sad that he got hurt in preseason. That's Patrick Laine, because the look on his face on opening night when they introduced him, I've never seen him have that much joy.
The town loves him already, so it's a great boost of confidence for the guy, when he was in the NHL, was the
player assistance program.
He was in that, so he comes out of that, signs with Montreal, and then you never know how your new team or the new city is gonna really take to you, and then that first night he steps onto the ice, and you'd think that Maurice Richard was just walking onto the ice, like the town's ready for him, and him too, that knee on knee. Not going to go too much into that, but at the same time, at least it's only 2 months. Again, not season ending, so we're gonna see some good stuff in a couple months. So
shout out to Zach's Collection for popping in, a good friend. Thanks, Zach, for coming in, buddy. No, and you could see the excitement in him. As soon as he got to the Montreal, you could see he had the passion back in him too.
Oh yeah. Well, even no, not last night. No. When we played Toronto in our season opener, when they were announcing the scratches, and they announced Patrick Laine is there, and when they announced it, the place went nuts for him. Yeah. And you could see that look on his face, like he looked shy, but at the same time, it was like, all right, they like me here,
The best picture is Martin St. Louis behind him, just smiling, just gleaming. Yeah. But no, and then another good young one here that everybody is talking about, and that's Lane Hutson.
Oh,
this kid is going to be like
a
stud. He's going to be a stud.
The moves this guy has. Wow. That's why they're already saying on TV, if he lives up to his potential, he could possibly be Calder this year. And I really hope so, because it would be nice to see Montreal get some hardware again. It's been a while, So, yeah, man. I was telling a buddy of mine, I was hoping to see Lane Hutson get his first goal tonight, and then he writes me back. He goes, no, it has to be on Monday because he's going to be at the game Monday. So because it has to happen then when I'm there.
Shout out to Jake for coming in, and Yoda. Thank you guys for popping in. Appreciate it. This guy I'm really high on, and I think I was really high on him when he played in the juniors, and that's Caden Gooley. I think he's a stud defenseman. I really do.
Very good defenseman. I really like Gooley. I mean, I'm looking at your list, and I'm just like, that whole list is just awesome. But yeah, Caden Gooley, great defenseman. Setup guy and everything. Really, really like his stuff. So.
And then the guy we're going to talk about next just scored, Alex Newhook.
Newhook just scored?
Newhook just scored 3-0 right now.
Sweet.
So that's another guy.
Is Monty still rocking a shutout?
He's still rocking it, but don't say it yet.
I love it.
But no, Newhook, a great player, guy from Newfoundland.
Yeah,
I think that was a steal from Colorado.
I'll say.
Definitely, definitely a steal from Colorado. He's gonna do well. He's doing wonders in Montreal, and I think
Yeah.
under St. Louis guidance, he's going to be a star player.
Oh yeah.
And then we got the most controversial with Yarov Slavkovsky.
Myself personally, I like Slavkovsky. I know just before I came to get on the computer, I saw that he had left the game. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if it's an injury thing or he was just going off the ice or something. But I know I saw a little thing on because I was watching it on CBC, and yeah, they said Slavkovsky went to the dressing room. So I'm like, I hope it's nothing serious, but he got very lucky tonight because there was one point where I don't know if the ref chose not to see it, but he was right against the boards. I don't know who it was for Ottawa, and you could see he cross-checked him, and he got away with it. So I'm like, okay, I guess it works for both teams, you know.
And then the next player on this list, who I think was absolute steal, and you can attest to this, and that's Nick Suzuki.
Captain. Yes,
steal
sir.
From the Vegas Golden Knights.
I forget about that. These Habs all the way.
No, definitely was a steal. And that to me screams a Martin St. Louis player right there.
Mm-hmm.
It really does.
Still need his young gun too. So if anyone out there, you know, wink, wink.
Yeah, definitely a Martin St. Louis player because he reminds me of a lot of Martin St. Louis with the heart and soul that he puts in and just the off ice training.
Last season really broke out. He 30-goal season. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have Kirby Dach, another steal from Chicago.
Yep.
Montreal just stole a lot of these great players. Just here we go.
Man, reminiscent of the Sam Pollock years, man. I love it.
And then this guy who's already on a tear, but and that's Cole Caulfield and wearing Johnny Hockey's number, which is a nice tribute.
I was just telling Dad before. For some reason, Cole Caulfield just looks better wearing 13. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but you know, I know he started with 22, but for some reason, 13 looks really good on him. And oh man, like going 3 for 3 games, a goal apiece, and if you notice, every goal is at that same spot right near the net. Like I think Cole Caulfield was watching tapes of Ovechkin because that's Ovi's spot, you know, and it seems to be working for him. Although the one he got tonight, you could see that was like, you know, I'm just gonna shoot it and see if I get it in because Allmark was really coming up on the net there. But yeah, he's something right now, man.
No, definitely is. And the shadow is broken. Tim Susla just scored.
All right, someone send a message to Arbor Jackeye.
All right, so we're gonna move on here, and so this is I got a question for you because you're a goalie. I know you collect a lot of Martin Brodeurs.
Oh yeah,
but my question here is for you: do you see Sam Montembeault being the number one in Montreal, or would you rather see them go out and get a bona fide number one?
Well, I mean, again, just tonight watching him play, like there's certain moves he does, and you could see Price in him. So it makes me wonder if, let's say, like during the off season, if maybe Price gave him some pointers or whatnot. And to be honest, comparing, let's say, Montembeault and Primo, I'm going Montembeault all the way. I like what I've seen so far with him, and I would say keep Monty and search for like a backup or something, because I think if the more he plays and everything, the more he gets used to the team and everything. I think Monty could be a real like number one guy. Like he could hone his skills more and everything. Yeah, I think Monty's is a good pick for a number
See,
one.
my thing is, I think you guys have a number one goalie right now in your farm system, and that's Fowler.
Yep. Oh, yes. Oh, my God. I was telling my buddy Andrew, I was like, I can't wait to see him play. Oh, my God.
I think as soon as he comes up, he's going to steal that number one spot.
Yeah, I think so. Like, again, as much as I love Montembeault and everything, I think as soon as Fowler gets his shot, yeah.
Yeah, because I've been watching
become number two.
watching a lot of his prospects and his time in college. This kid is unreal. Like,
scary.
As a Rangers fan, he reminds me almost as just a little bit less of a Shesterkin.
Ooh, wow.
And that's a good comparison.
That's saying something, yeah.
So definitely watch out for this kid when he comes up, because he's going to be the backstop for years and years to come.
Well, I mean, now we could say that about Montreal. A couple of years ago, it's like we would get a good player and they would just let him rot down in the farm system, So, yeah. But nowadays, yeah, I could say that, yeah, he'll be around for a while, unless we get hard up on money or something. And guys want big contracts like in Toronto.
So I guess, what are your thoughts on the Line situation? Like, just bringing them in, the guys that you gave up. Like, as a Habs fan, like, what has you most excited about seeing Line in the Habs uniform?
Well, I mean, right off the bat, like, I know when Line is like in peak form, like, I know he's a 40-goal scorer. And he even said, like, once he first came to Montreal, now part of it is maybe, hype for the media and everything. But like he even said, once he came to Montreal, he doesn't want to be a 40-goal scorer. He wants to be a 50-goal scorer. And hearing stuff like that, we haven't had a 50-goal scorer in a long time. I mean, Stéphane Richer was our last 50-goal scorer. And that's like, what, 90, I don't know, 6, maybe? I forget. But it's been a while. And so hearing stuff like that, of course, gives you goosebumps right away as a fan, but also just, knowing what he's capable of and everything. And I know a lot of people say, are we going to get the same Line A like he was before he went into the program and everything? If he's a little off, okay, but, give the guy a chance. You can't expect him to be perfect right off the bat, and see what he can do, and I'm all for it. And then again, we got a deal for him.
Yeah,
compared to who we had to give up for him. And I thought a name like Line A would cost a lot more, and it didn't.
So, some of that came with his down years too. That was in Columbus.
Yeah, I know.
If he would have been a 50-goal scorer or whatever in Columbus, that price would have been steeper.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Shout out to Nordic Diehard for sobbing it. Thank you, buddy. So,
and with Line A coming to Montreal too, it kind of made me wish I would have gotten his young gun a little earlier, because I was looking at his young gun like a week or two before Montreal signed him, and it was like, maybe a $10-15 card. As soon as Montreal goes, yep, we got Patrick Laine, boom, like $100 card right away. I'm like, oh, come on. I'm like, well, I guess I gotta wait on that one now.
Part 2 of that question now. Where would you want to see him fit in? Which line? Would you want to see him with Suzuki, Caulfield, Kirby Dach?
I could see him pairing well with Dach, because Dach's a bigger guy and Laine has size to him, Now, just saying that, I mean, I would see Dach being the setup guy for Laine, of course. And I'd be down for that. I mean, seeing Laine cook with Caulfield would be pretty neat, So depending on if they could really, get a good chemistry going there. So there's so many options, and when he's ready to play, I know Marty St. Louis is just gonna have a field day with trying to fit him in with someone, So
that number one power play is going to look pretty dangerous,
mm-hmm.
Especially when you have a Coffee and a Line.
It's going to be nice. It's going to be nice seeing our power play go from like the toilet at number 30 from like, was it last year or whatever, to actually getting up there. So yeah. A lot of positives coming our way.
And a lot of people don't realize it takes time. Like this doesn't happen overnight. Takes years to develop these players and get these players. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of pain as a fan too.
Oh yeah. I mean, since 93, that our last cup, there's been so many years where, we say the same old question. Is this the year? Is this the year? And no. And then finally, during the whole bubble era, when we went to the finals against freaking Tampa Bay, it was so close, and then we lost 1-0. Like, oh my god, So after that, I was like, hopefully things turn around. And then once once Kent Hughes came in and he started making moves, right there, I was like, all right, things are going to turn around for this team, because Kent Hughes, man, he's a mastermind, and I'm loving what he's doing so far. So if it's going to take a couple years, so be it. It may suck because let's say the team goes on like a hot streak or something, then of course right away you're going to be like, oh, maybe they'll get into the playoffs, and then you're like, well, wait, hold on a second. We're still rebuilding. If we get into the playoffs, that's a whole other brand of hockey. Some of our guys may not be ready for that yet. So that's why if it's going to take a couple of years, so be it. Just got to have patience.
And Slafkovsky's back on the ice for the third.
Oh, nice.
So nothing too terrible there. So the next question, what do you think of all the new faces that they brought in this year?
I'm liking it. I mean, give these guys a chance. I mean, you hear so much, of so and so down in whatever AHL team they're with or whatever. They're lining it up down there. It's like, give them a chance in the NHL. Don't play them for like 8, 9, 10 games. Give them a taste. See how he fits in with some of the guys, and then go from there. Because I mean, you look at at Montreal's team, and we don't have the biggest guys around. We got a lot of small guys, so you got to be careful with them. And like again, look at Lane Hudson. He's a small guy. He's got the moves. He's fast and everything, but at the same time, you got to get players to watch him. So like, anyone in that caliber, like I say, cool, bring them up, give them a taste of the NHL and everything, and then see how things work out after like a game or two, So see if you could get some guys to not exactly babysit, like, like Semenko used to do for Gretzky, but watch him, So, but yeah, I say give him a chance.
One of my favorite quotes that came out, I think, to this week from Arbor Jack I was, "We're not going to be a push around team anymore. We're going to push
we
back."
don't care who we're playing. Yes, I love it.
That was one of my favorite quotes that came out this week from him.
Before the game started on CBC, they showed that quote, and I'm just like, yes.
Definitely.
So good.
So yeah, we touched a little bit on this earlier, but Lane Hudson, is he going to be the next big defensive star for the Montreal Canadiens?
Well, I mean, I think in his case, I think it's once he gets that first goal, when he gets that first NHL goal, and he's going to see how, now, whether it be at home or on the road, whichever, it'd be cool if he does it at home, because once he gets that first goal and he's going to see how electric the place is, it's just going to be like, I want to get more, I think the crowd getting behind him is really going to give him like a really big boost. And, I think, he could really end up doing big things. Now, again, I don't want to jinx him either, because look how many players have come up and they're like, he's the next big thing. And then, it takes like 3 or 4. I mean, I'm not hating on the guy. Take New York. Look at Lafreniere. He's the first overall pick, and everyone's like, oh my God, he's the next big thing. And then what? After that first year, a lot of people were saying, oh, he's a bust and everything. Now he's coming into things. He's coming into his own,
Yeah.
And I mean, I've always looked at players like that from the beginning, Not everyone's going to be like a Guy Lafleur or something, You got to give these players time, and, depending how long it takes, and maybe they'll do it in their first year. Maybe it'll take them 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And then finally, like, boom, they become like a mega star, like everyone was talking about, So, but yeah, I think I think Lane is going to do good things here. Sorry to get sidetracked.
To me, it was a Laffy situation. Laffy was a great scorer in the queue. Great. But he went to a Rangers team that really didn't need him. So he had to figure out a new role. He wasn't going to be that goal scorer.
Yeah,
and now
he got buried. Like, he was like third or fourth line, I think. Like, if they would have put him on like first or second right away, yeah, he probably would have shined more than, it would have taken him less time to shine than it is now. So,
and like now they turned him into a power forward, and he's excelling as a power forward.
Oh yeah,
like really excelling. And then that line, you can't speak highly enough of that line with him, Trocheck, and Panarin. That line is so deadly. It's like 3 triple weapons right there.
It's helpful too, because Panarin's like the veteran now. I mean, 2015 was his rookie season, so he's got 10 years experience now. So he could give, Laffy some pointers. I mean, Trocheck too, he's been playing a couple of years. So, they could give Laffy some pointers here and there, how to do it this way and not that way, So yeah, that's a good line he's on there. So yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Christina Pine. Thank you for coming in, Christina. Yeah, no, that line it's like a triple threat. Panarin, he can be goal scorer, setup man. You got Trocheck net front presence, and you got Laffy that could go net front presence as well. But Trocheck is so underrated. He was number 2 in face-off percentages behind Crosby last year. And that is an amazing.
More about Crosby than Trocheck, because it's Crosby.
And that's amazing company right there to be in with face-off wins.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm so high on Trocheck, and I'd rather see Zibanejad go. I'd rather trade him and
Yeah.
put Trocheck as my number one center. I just trust him more defensively.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a point there.
Oh, we got Will Voggs in the house. What's going on, Will?
Bugs.
Thanks for coming in. But yeah, no. So another great. I still think the St. Louis for coach for Montreal has been the best thing for them.
Oh yeah.
I really
same.
do.
Yeah.
Out of all the coaches, I think he fits to a T.
Like it's funny too because after like St. Louis, I think he's been in what he's coached now. I think 3 years. No, longer than that. Shorter. I think it was after his first season, and after they got rid of Bergevin. And it's funny, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, get rid of Bergevin. We can't stand him," and all this stuff. He squandered Caulfield and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, there was like little things coming out, like, well, actually, Bergevin did this and he did that, and it was funny. Like, it was only after he was gone people started saying that. But I myself personally, I was not a fan of Bergevin at all, and I am all for St. Louis 100%. I like his coaching style, and I love that since he became the coach, he's really giving Caulfield that chance to really break out, and we're seeing it. I mean, he came shy of 30 goals last year. He finished with 28. So, it's only the start for him, and it's under St. Louis that, he's getting a chance to do this. So I know a lot of people were saying they're not too crazy about St. Louis. Myself, I'm a fan. I like them as a player, and I like them as a coach. So,
And then my biggest thing as a Rangers fan, because I did not want to see this guy go, and you guys got a great one, and that's Jeff Gordon in the front office.
Oh, yes.
He knows how to draft.
That's what I mean. You got Gordon and Hughes together. They're like a dynamic duo, these two. It's great, So that's why, like, when during the draft, when everyone was saying, is Shane Wright going to go to Montreal? And then all of a sudden we skipped on him and we took Slavkovsky instead. At first I was like, okay. And then after seeing him play in that, I was like, okay, I'm cool with this. Let Wright go to Seattle. Let him do his thing there. We got someone good. So, yeah.
Yeah, no. I'd rather have Jeff Gordon than Drury right now, to be honest with you. Because I do not like Chris Drury, and I'm speaking as a Rangers fan.
Yeah, I was gonna say Chris Drury used to play with New York.
Yeah, I just don't like him in the front office. I feel. I just strongly don't want him there.
Yeah. No, I noticed some, like, former players after they retire and then they get a front office job. Some of them fit in great. And then some of them just, like you said, just don't belong, Like, in my opinion, with the Habs, when Carey Price finally announces his retirement officially, I think it would be awesome if he would become like a goalie coach or something, because him as a goalie coach, that would be really, really cool. But also I think it would be good for the team because, 15-year experience, mind you, he doesn't have a cup, but still he has like every other trophy, so yeah, I think he would fit in great as a goalie coach. So,
Shout out
behind the
to
bench. I don't think so. No.
Aaron Sportscards and things for coming in. Thanks, Aaron,
Hey.
buddy. Yeah. And I was not high on the Peter Laviolette signing as head coach. I did not want him there, and I'll be the first to tell you. But he's really grown on me.
He's a colorful character, him.
And the play style that he plays really fits the Rangers because they have the defensive. They have a wicked top six defense core, probably the best in the league, and minus Trouba because Trouba can go.
Yeah. It seems a lot of people don't like Jacob Trouba.
No, not even the Rangers fans like him.
No. But no, Peter Laviolette, I mean, look what he did when he was in Philly, you know? I mean, Philly, was he in Carolina?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. You know? So, I mean...
And then Washington...
he has experience. I mean...
And everywhere he's been, each team's made it to the finals.
Exactly. So, you know...
But I think
it'd be nice to see New York go further again.
I think this is going to be their year.
Well,
I really do.
Nice. I mean, you know, they haven't had a cup since '94, so you know,
from all the predictions everywhere, it has New York and Edmonton in the finals.
Yeah. I noticed that on opening night, they did a prediction thing, and it was almost 90% Edmonton for this year, and I'm just like, could Edmonton do a repeat? I mean, you know, it'd be nice. And then if they don't, I could see McDavid going, I want the hell out of here.
You know what, though? And I've told everyone this. We're going to see a meaner McDavid this year. I mean, meaner. He had a taste. You know? He had a taste of that, and he's going to want to get back there and prove that.
Yeah. You know, it seems it's like that with a lot of players. You know, it's one thing to get into the playoffs. I mean, we know playoff hockey is a whole different brand of hockey. We know it's a hell of a grind, you know, but once you get to the finals and on top of that, a game 7, it's like when you get like you could taste the Stanley Cup, you know, it's like it's right here. You're not drinking from it yet, but it's like it's in your hands. And then for that to just get taken away from you, oh yeah, you think about that all off season, and you're like, I want to be back there because I want my cup, you know. So yeah, I'd like to see a meaner McDavid this year.
And to put it frankly, he was just toying with all the passes last year. That was just him
100
toying.
assists last year?
Yeah, that wasn't him trying. Can you imagine this year?
He just decided, nah, I'm just gonna relax. I'm just gonna set people up. You know, I'm not even gonna score. I'm just gonna set them up. And we saw how great of a setup guy he is. And everyone's like, oh, Draisaitl's the setup guy. Look at McDavid. He's just, no, you score. You go ahead.
But the thing with the Oilers, and it's always going to be, is they need a goalie. Stuart Skinner's not a number 1.
Yeah.
He's a backup at the most. It's like any goalie. They get hot. You can ride them. But you need that number 1 goalie. And I wish they would have got Fleury. I think it would have been great. Because that was a rumor back.
That would be something, huh? Ooh, Julie wouldn't be happy about that.
Nordique said, Frank, did you end up getting the McDavid Young Gun to finish that set?
No, unfortunately I didn't, because even though I was offered such a great deal for it, every time I was ready to go to the shop to buy it, something came up and I had to use the money for whatever else. And by now, I'm sure they have long sold it. And to whoever got it, even if for the price they offered me, I say they were very, very lucky. So, and no, that one spot will sit empty in my 15-16 binder. And hopefully one day I get a really, really good tax return and finally go, you know what? I'm going to go and buy a McDavid Young gun.
So we're
But if
gonna
that happens, it's going to sit empty.
we're gonna jump into today's news that I've been finding around the league. So in today's news from around the league, Barkov was injured, but it looks like he's going to be out 2 to 3 weeks, so nothing serious there.
Okay.
So he wasn't in crutches and no walking boots, so that's good there.
I saw a clip of that last night or whatever. I just saw they were helping him off the ice. I didn't see what it was or how it happened. Did he get checked wrong or did he?
I think it just fell awkward into the boards and his knee or leg kind of twisted.
Oh yeah. It was near the end of the game or something. He went to chase the puck or okay. Yeah, I heard the guy saying something about that. Okay.
And then we got a big news in Rangers land. Laffy and the
Speaking
Rangers,
of Laffy,
they're close on deal for long term too. It looks like
is he going to hold out as long as he can, like Swayman did in Boston?
No, I think within the next couple weeks we'll be getting the deal with Laffy done.
Oh, okay.
And then another big news: Oilers are being linked to Gio and Shattenkirk.
Being linked, as in,
they've been
to the Oilers.
They've been in talks with the Oilers to bring Giordano and Shattenkirk in on the blue line.
Wow!
So that'll boost up that blue line a little bit as well.
Well, Giordano, I mean, there's your veteran presence right there. I mean, Shattenkirk too. Again, he's got some years under his belt, so yeah.
And then Barry wanted to chime in here with today's news: Bruins on 2-game win streak.
Yeah. I was watching that Bruins game the other night. That was rough.
And then I didn't get onto it here, but Macklin Salabrini got injured, so he's out for a little bit as well. He's on IR.
Gets his first goal in the NHL, and then onto the IR.
Which is a shame because that kid's going to be a stud.
Oh.
And everybody who knows me knows Macklin Salabrini's my guy. Take him over Connor Bedard any day.
It's funny. I was watching the clip of, because the rookies do their victory lap or their welcome to the NHL lap, right? And last year, 23, 24, I always get years mixed up when it comes to hockey. Anyway, Connor Bedard goes out and he does his lap and he gets busted for not wearing a helmet. Now you see all the rookies are doing it and they're not wearing helmets. WTF.
I think the veterans pay for their fine.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because I think it's only like $1,000 fine, so I think the veterans pay for it.
Yeah. Okay. Or they probably tell the rookies like, okay, we'll cover your no helmet fun, and the next road trip when we go to the restaurant or something, you guys are paying for the steaks.
Canadians won 4-1. So
let's go.
So yeah, I guess now we're going to jump right in. We'll give you a little spotlight here, Frank. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your channel and what you collect and what you got going on there? I know you've been dropping the series of being at the card show. Looks pretty fun that you were at this week.
Yeah, that was fun. Well, it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it was my first one here in Montreal. There was one back in May. They do like a spring spring and fall or whatever. I wasn't able to go to the one in May, but I made sure I was like, since there's one coming up in October, I want to be at that one because I'm pretty darn sure that I'm not going to be at the Toronto one as much as I want to be there, especially now that they announced that there's going to be Baywatch actors there this year. But still, I mean, the Toronto show always gets tons of great guests and everything, but it's so expensive. I mean, I always get the VIP ticket, so that's pricey. You got your return bus fare, you got a hotel, and then while in Toronto, while you're traveling around. And me, I tend to travel around a lot in Toronto by using Lyft, so the other form of Uber. And even though you go from one place to the other, and it's like, oh, it's only $10, you do it enough times, it friggin' adds up. So the Toronto trip, that's probably not going to happen. But yeah, now that Montreal has a show under the Sportscard Expo family, I guess it's called, I'll probably be sticking more to the Montreal shows. And yeah, it was great. I mean, the Friday I met Dennis DeJordy. He's 1961 Stanley Cup winner, 1967 Vezina Trophy winner with Glenn Hall. Then on the Sunday, I met Felix Potvin. So see, it's not all hate on Toronto. But yeah, and then the cards. I mean, that was fun. I wish I had them with me, but I have that tendency of, after I do a video, I sort them right away. And I spent like almost all day yesterday doing that. I was sorting them all. But yeah, got a lot of cool stuff, including a lot of new brodeurs, which now brought me over the 800 mark. I am now at 802. Originally I said 803, but that was a typo. I overcounted. But
well, 803 because I got you one coming.
Oh, there you go. So soon to be 803. And on Trading Card Database, I'm still 7th overall amongst all brodeur collectors on the website. In order to get into 6th place, I got to go up like past 900. So that's the next big goal, to hit the 900 mark. So we'll get to 850 first and then worry about 900. So
just a quick shout out to Sydney Cat for coming in. Thanks, Sydney Cat. Appreciate it.
But as for sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, but as for like my channel and everything, it's mostly hockey or baseball. I like baseball too. Or lately, I've been opening the little NFL Halloween packs that come like the 3 cards.
The trick or treat.
And and it's so weird. Like normally I would do a short, let's say showcasing a card or something. Maybe get 15, 20 views. Every NFL short I've done recently, almost 400 views. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I am not the football guy, but I'm like, oh, I could open a pack of these a day till Halloween or something. And everyone, I still don't get the shorts thing. I really don't, but it's working, so I'm happy. But yeah, it's mostly hockey, baseball, random sports here and there. I love my non-sports stuff. I love the 90s like Marvel cards and weird like non-sports stuff, like Topps 50s stuff back in the day of like cars and airplanes and stuff, with weird stuff. I love that because not a lot of channels are showcasing that stuff. So that's why if I could get my hands on it and show it to people, then I'm going to. Or maybe Sensei Domino has done it already.
Maiden said, but it's football season. Americans love NFL, Frankie.
Go Green Bay!
No,
probably getting a lot of people going, oh no, he's a Green Bay Packers fan.
So anything up and coming for the channel?
Well, now I could say there's probably going to be a contest giveaway coming soon, I guess, because I passed the 600 subscriber mark, and I know usually when that happens, you want to wait a little bit to see if it actually sticks. And so far, it has stuck. I'm hovering around 607, 608 the last day or two. So I'm going to try and figure out something to do for like a 600 subscriber giveaway. Usually my thing is first place will be some card or whatever, and then second place is usually like a $50 prepaid like Visa or something, and then third place is usually like a $25 one. That's always how I've structured it, and then I just pick a winner off the wheel. So I'm gonna try and figure out something, and hopefully not take too long to do it. And so we got that, and then coming up, I mean, I was at Tim Hortons earlier, and I did. Well, they're back there somewhere. I managed to get my hands on another 10 packs of cards, so I'll probably be doing a rip tomorrow. And I'm gonna keep with the NFL packs, like I said, till Halloween. And then come Halloween, I've always been a sucker for doing like a themed thing, whether it be on Halloween or on Christmas or whatever. So I want to try and figure out something to do for a Halloween video. And I know, again, speaking of football, back in the 90s, Coca-Cola put out a one-off football set where all the players are dressed up in like goofy costumes and stuff. And I really want to get my hands on that whole set and maybe do a video around it if I could find it for not too expensive. But yeah, so tinkering around with that. And then I might be doing a video somewhere in the near future showing off my autographed puck collection, since every expo I go to, I usually get a puck signed. And actually, it was my buddy Andrew who suggested it. So we got that, and probably more mail videos and whatnot, which my channel has become more known for, since I don't really rip a lot of regular product or anything. So yeah, so basically it's same old. But
Just
if
shout
people
out
want
to
come by and check
John
it out,
B.
be my guest.
John B's leaving us for tonight. Have a good one, John.
Oh,
Thanks for
okay.
coming in, buddy. Nord had a question here for you. Frank, what is your favorite hockey card? Not Brodeur, because I'm a Roy guy, in your PC.
Favorite hockey card in my not Brodeur. Actually, I keep it here in my my display case. Hold on. It is a Habs card. It's this right here. It's from In the Game, so it's from 06-07, and it's a game used glove piece of Maurice Richard.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah. Out of all the cards in my PC, yeah, this one's one of my favorites. So there you go. It's not always Brodeur. There are other players. Just Brodeur is the one I have the most of.
Definitely. So I know you're a big Brodeur guy, big Montreal guy. And baseball, though, you collect someone really I've never even heard of them. Like,
oh,
yeah, the guy that you collect. So this is like a weird one to me, because I've opened a lot of baseball and I've never seen this guy.
which one, Larry Walker or Carl Yastrzemski?
Carl.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Carl Yastrzemski, if you want to get into collecting him, well, you got to start at the beginning and you got to get his rookie card. But, well, see, the thing with Carl Yastrzemski, I mean, he retired in 83. Now, I was born in 88. So, he was retired when I got to this planet. And for years growing up, like I've heard my dad talk about Yaz and everything, and I've seen clips and everything of him. And so once I got more into collecting and the baseball and just the lore of it, and when I started really getting into it, and I was like, yeah, Carl Yastrzemski, I gotta check him out. And seeing that he was a lifer for the Red Sox and everything. Unfortunately, he never won a World Series or anything. but holds all kinds of, Red Sox records and this and that. And I was just like, okay, I think when it comes to PCing a player, I think I'm going to go after Yaz. Now, mind you, he does have a lot of expensive cards, the rookie card. But when I really got back into collecting, this was actually one of my go-to grail cards to pick up. I was like, I really want to get Yaz's rookie card. And when I finally got it, I was like, all right, now that I got the rookie, now I could focus on some of his other cards. And I got a modest Yaz PC. I mean, I got some of his player era cards. I got some I finally got an autograph of his, which is another pricey thing to go after. And then a couple of memorabilia cards in that. And and then his grandson, Mike Yastrzemski, is another guy I PC because I'm like, well, if I'm going to PC Carl, I might as well PC Mike as well. And I can say I think I have more Mike Yastrzemski cards than Carl, but Carl is one player that really means a lot to me. So, and so if you want to see a really nice Carl Yastrzemski PC, though, I suggest everyone go check out Canadian Cards. He's from Hamilton. He's got a nice Yaz PC. So
I got a question for you. Do you collect any newer PCs? Any of the newer guys? Do you have a PC of any of the newer guys?
Newer guys?
Or hockey or baseball or
newer guys. I mean, I have some Cole Caulfield stuff. Nothing like super major. I think when it comes to Cole Caulfield stuff, I think the only numbered card of his I have is an O-Pee-Chee Platinum Hot Magma, which I know a lot of people aren't fans of that parallel, but I've wanted a Caulfield marquee rookie from that parallel set for a while. Finally got one. I got an okay Carey Price PC. It's again nothing like no super high end stuff, but I've always been like that though when PCing a player. Like some people I know they want to go for the RPAs and the hard to find autographs and the memorabilia stuff. Me, I'm like, if I could find something a little cooler than just the base cards, if I could find numbered cards for really cheap, then I'm all for it. And then let's say, if I have a couple extra bucks to spend and I could be like, okay, I'll spend $40 or $50 on like a nice autograph or something, then I'll do it. But usually PCs of a lot of players, it's a lot of base cards and insert stuff. So, but modern, it's Price, Caulfield. For baseball, well, Mike Yastrzemski. Who else? I think for baseball, modern baseball, that's the only modern baseball one I have. So, but
So, for me, my favorite set to collect is O-Pee-Chee Platinum. I love the O-Pee-Chee cards because that's what my dad ripped when I was younger, and that's what I love. So, do you have a favorite set that you really love more than one or the other?
Favorite set? Well, being a big vintage fan, I think one of my favorite vintage sets, and I know it's a big favorite with a lot of collectors, is the 71-72 set. That's probably my favorite hockey set. The O-Pee-Chee version, that's where you get Guy Lafleur's rookie card, Ken Dryden, and Marcel Dion, which is a set that I am building. I'm doing Topps and O-Pee-Chee, but that's probably hands down my favorite hockey set. Yeah.
Do you have
72. It's just great design, the bubble with the writing on top, just great stuff. So,
do you have like a favorite insert of any like
favorite
set at
insert?
all?
Well, since collecting a lot of Brodeur stuff, he has a lot of inserts, and I am a sucker for die cut cards. I love die cuts. And I know back in like, late 90s, early 2000s, Pacific were masters of die cut stuff. And any like the glove side net fusions or all that, if it was shaped like a goalie trapper, I loved all that stuff. So, I mean, it's hard to pick one insert, but I know, was it Pacific Revolution? I think it was like 96, 97 or 97, 98. They did an insert, and it's a die cut of the NHL logo. And I just got one recently of Brodeur, and I mean, still to this day, it's like almost a $20 card. It still holds its value, and yeah, that's one of my favorites. So, yeah.
Shout out to Robert Springs, one of the greatest guys in the community. He's always there supporting people. And he got my package I sent him today. Like
All
I gave
right.
him a Gunnar Henderson rookie card.
Nice.
So congrats, it made it to me,
it's
Robert.
funny, eh? It's funny. You had Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman, and at first everyone thought Adley Rutschman was going to be the big one, and then it turns out Gunnar is more than Adley.
But big shout out to Robert. He's always there supporting everyone. So thanks, Robert. Keep it up, buddy. So we're running at the hour mark here. Does anybody have any questions for Frank while we got him? Anything at all? Frank, do you have anything you want to show off?
Show off? Well,
Maybe your favorite Brodeur card or something?
What's that? Favorite what?
Favorite Brodeur card?
Favorite Brodeur. Oh, man. That one's down here in the... Well, as the questions roll in, I could get one of my favorite Brodeurs out. I know a lot of people know which one it is, but
Dig has a question for you while you're looking. Least favorite Hab moment.
Favorite Hab moment.
Least favorite.
Oh, least favorite?
Yeah, least favorite.
Ooh. Well, I mean, losing in the Stanley Cup final 1-0 to Tampa Bay. That's a pretty big one. But let's see. Either than that, again, not to throw any shade on New York, but Chris Kreider.
The Hab killer.
All I'm going to say, if you know, you know.
So I ask every...
You really didn't have to go flying into the net.
I ask every guest I have on, what would be your Mount Rushmore of Habs players? Past or present?
Mount Rushmore of Habs players? That's... Oof. See, that's a tough one because... with the 24 Stanley Cups and nameless, jerseys retired and Hall of Famers and everything. Let's see. I'm definitely putting Jacques Plante on there. I mean, he basically it took him taking an Andy Bathgate slap shot to come out with the goalie mask. Got to put Guy Lafleur on there. Got to have the Rocket. And if I was to go with a fourth, oh, geez. That is tough. I know a lot of people are probably saying, what? You're going over Patrick Waugh and Ken Dryden? I know. I'd put Steve Shutt on there. He was a multiple 60-goal scorer. He was very, very quiet guy and everything. And, I'd put Steve Shutt on my Rushmore. So
Maiden's Rushmore is this one.
Pocket Rocket, Jean Beliveau. Oh, that's a good one. See, that's what I mean. I mean, Jean Beliveau. I mean, there's so many players for the Habs you could go with on the whole Mount Rushmore thing, you know? So it's you'll name 5 and then there's like 15 you left out and you're like, oh man, that guy would fit on there too. You know, you'd have to have like a whole Rocky Mountain instead of a Mount Rushmore for the Habs.
Yeah, no, it's a loaded question. It really is. And to hear people's things, because some of them say players that you wouldn't expect either, which is great.
Yeah. Like at the expo last weekend, I picked up a it's a 57-58 Parkhurst rookie of Claude Provo. Now, to a lot of people, they hear the name Claude Provo and they're like, who? The guy has, I think, 8 Stanley Cups and, you know, multiple other, you know, accolades and whatnot. Not even in the Hall of Fame. And I'm like, why? He should be. Now, mind you, he's one of those players who has been overshadowed by the likes of, you know, Jean Beliveau and the Rocket. And exactly who? You know, the Rocket and Henri Richard and all of them. But the guy has a resume like, wow, you know? So, and that's why when I was at the show, I was looking through a binder and I saw they had a whole bunch of the old Parker stuff. When I saw it, I was like, the guy wanted $10 for it. And I'm like, would you do 5 on this? And he's like, okay. I'm like, sweet. Claude Provo rookie card for $5. I'll take that any day. Now, as for my favorite Brodeur in my set or my PC, it's not one card, but it's actually 2 cards together. And it's that little doozy right there.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Hold on. I'll put you on the big screen here so people can see it. We need this one. Bear with me. We're still learning here, people. There we go.
There you go.
That's a nice one.
Oh, yeah. So that's 0910 O-Pee-Chee Premier Remnants. So you got the triple game used jerseys. And then you got the patch form here. And this is numbered to 25. And I always love getting a patch card that's numbered 7 out of 25 because my birthday is July 25th. So
that's my birthday too.
Really? Oh,
July
sweet.
25th.
Nice. So it has a little extra meaning to it. So yeah. But I picked these up on ComC a little while back, and yeah, I got a steal for the. Oh, actually, the Remnants jersey one's numbered also out of 35. I just realized that. But yeah, those are definitely some of my favorites. I mean, I have, you know, numerous die cut stuff and whatnot, but these ones are my favorites just because of the fact that it spells out Canada. And it's not even a booklet.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't have a Brodeur booklet in my PC yet because those are pretty darn pricey. So one day, though, one day. At least I could say I have one Brodeur 1 of 1, and it's a printing plate. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Brodeur is my stepson's favorite goalie.
Nice.
Huge Devils fan because of Brodeur.
Nice. And now his brother Jeremy's coming up, so
yeah.
I mean, sorry, son, not brother.
I don't think his son will make the NHL though. I think he's going to be an EHL guy.
It's tough. I mean, behind Dawes and who's the other one? I forget their other goalie, but it's tough. But I'd like to see him get a couple more games, just to see a Brodeur in the NHL again would be nice. Now, mind you, since he did play one game, That does mean I think he will be getting a young gun in a future set, because I think he had to play at least one NHL game. So, and he got the W too. So that's even cooler. So I will definitely be hunting that young gun whenever the heck it comes out.
So as a custom here on my show, the guest closes out the show as if they would be closing out their YouTube channel.
Oh.
So tonight, we're going to let Frank close out the show tonight.
Okay, I got to go through my
You got
shtick
big
here.
shoes to fill here, Frank. This is putting you right on the spot.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed everything that you saw here today. If you did, you know the routine. Sound off in the comments below as well. Take a look at the description of this video for a whole bunch of awesome stuff. As well, if you would like to subscribe, you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you'd like to, click the subscribe button. And if you do, click the little bell notification next to it so that you know when these videos go live. So that's all I got for you today. But until next time, I say to all of you out there watching, laters!
See everyone, and remember, go check me out tomorrow night on Maiden's card show, the Weekend Warriors card show.
I'll be in the live hangout, scrolling chat thingamajig.
And we got a great top 5 coming tomorrow. So make sure to check it out. And everyone have a good night. Thanks for joining me and Frank tonight on this special Saturday night. And later.